Welcome to Around the Peninsula. I'm Army Sergeant Matt Cromer. Train as you fight. That's just one of the mottos commonly heard surrounding military training. Army Sergeant Mark Breha goes to Camp Walker, where one unit is reinforcing that motto.
Is caused by speed bumps.
These models may look like a toy, but what they represent means much more. They represent what soldiers from the 36th Signal Battalion will defend in their entry control point training. U.S. soldiers partner with their Republic of Korea Army counterparts.
What we're doing is checking vehicles, checking personnel, basically part of the force protection random action measures.
Together, they form combined groups that are able to perform the training steps successfully.
To work more efficiently, both the U.S. and ROK armies use their individual advantages together, so they decide to train as one team.
The ROK soldiers even impressed some of the U.S. soldiers.
Absolutely, they're tough and they'll do the training, you know. They're always eager to get the mission done. They never say no. They always welcome joint training, and they're always real warm-hearted.
Reporting from Camp Walker, Korea, I'm Army Sergeant Mark Breha.
Over 30 ROK soldiers made the trip to Camp Walker just to attend the joint training. There are several establishments on a military post for service members to enjoy. Sergeant Jackie McKnight speaks with a veteran that runs an Area 4 favorite.
Henry's Place is a restaurant located on Camp Henry in Daegu. Herbert Hart is the business manager of the restaurant, and some people call him the heart and soul of Henry's Place.
So working with Mr. Herbert has been very easy. He's very accommodating, and we really appreciate him for that. One thing that I really like about Mr. Herbert is he's very friendly, kind, and outgoing, and he's always willing to help.
The local favorite has been involved with Korea longer than most people know.
I've been in Korea. My first time in Korea was in 1975, and I fell in love with the place. So out of my 20 years in the Air Force, I spent almost 17 on active duty in Korea. So it's been like home. I've lived more time in Korea than I've lived in America.
Soldiers and civilians alike enjoy the warm service Herbert Hart brings to Henry's Place.
Service goes beyond the uniform, clearly, and Mr. Hart is a representation of that. You know, especially to go from uniform to civilian and still do it in this capacity, I think is really great.
Army Sergeant Jackie McKnight, Camp Henry, Korea.
Herbert Hart has worked all over Korea and has no plans of leaving anytime soon. Back to school means back to the grind for high school students around the Department of Defense. No more lazy days of sleeping in and enjoying the fun in the sun. But as Heatherley Shepard found out, students at Osan American High School were welcomed back to school with festivities to celebrate the coming school year.
Summer break is over, so Osan American High is getting the school year started off right with a luau.
We're doing our welcome back here. We're getting ready for school to start. We have our luau, scheduled pickups, games, tons of activities to welcome people back to Osan.
And what luau is complete without food?
Ooh. We have roasted pig, we have fried rice, we have kimchi, we've got chicken, we've got veggies, lots of good food.
Food and games aren't the only reason students in Osan are ready for the school year to begin.
They have AP Physics now, so I'm excited for that. I know the teacher well, so a lot of the new classes are offering like advanced robotics and stuff like that.
With back-to-school enthusiasm like that, there's only one thing left to say.
Go Cougars!
Heatherley Shepard, Osan Air Base, Korea.
Osan American High is always on the lookout for opportunities to have fun while educating. While being stationed in South Korea, service members are expected to be prepared for any type of contingency. Air Force Staff Sergeant Daryn Murphy takes us to Osan Air Base, where they are always ready to fight tonight.
Practice makes perfect, especially when it comes to training for defense. Osan Air Base's 51st Fighter Wing honed their combat skills in the recent operational readiness exercise, because when it comes to defending the peninsula, they have to be perfect.
We do exercises every so often to help prepare our people that come in and out on a constant basis, to help us keep in touch in case there's any kind of contingency operation or where we might need to go to war. We'll know exactly what we need to do, how to do it, to be able to fight and protect 51 million people on the ROK.
And in protecting those people, these airmen strive for perfection when training for missions on the ground and in the air. Air Force Staff Sergeant Daryn Murphy, Osan Air Base, Korea.
The 51st Fighter Wing conducts readiness exercises like this one on a quarterly basis, one of the main reasons they have received excellent ratings during recent Air Force inspections. Although you can learn a lot from a textbook, you can also learn by interacting with others. Army Sergeant Alon Humphrey takes us to a summer camp where kids are able to express themselves in more ways than one.
Summer is a time to learn and have fun. At OK Green Youth Center in Gyeongju, a team of special guests provide a little more. U.S. Marines from Camp Mujuk make up that special team. Together with the children, they work to raise their spirits and break down language barriers.
Usually Korean kids feel nervous when they meet foreigners and speak foreign languages. However, U.S. Marines love kids and play with them very friendly, so children feel happy with them.
The service members and local volunteers form 10 teams and participate in various activities.
I just love that I am able to help people have a great time. I'm able to help underprivileged kids have fun, which is the one thing they want right now.
U.S. Marines from Camp Mujuk have actively participated in the center's project since 2009. Reporting from Gyeongju, Korea, I'm Army Sergeant Alon Humphrey.
The Marines came back the next day and participated in lake rafting and courage development night hiking. No matter what your passion is, you can find others with the same passion even in another country. Sergeant Mark Breha goes to Daegu, where two wheels are making one team.
Not many soldiers are able to bring their vehicles to Korea, much less choose to bring their motorcycle. Although soldiers may leave their motorcycle in the U.S., their passion for the two-wheeled vehicles still comes with.
The fact that I just left, Fort Bliss, Texas, building motorcycles, racing motorcycles, just to come across to another country to do the same exact thing on my off time. I feel like home.
And that home for his motorcycle passion is the Jin Young Bike Shop in Daegu.
We became close by doing many things. We spent time fixing his bike, and he invited me to his house. I think that we became good friends because of motorcycles.
What started as a mutual interest in motorcycles has now developed into something more for the two.
I think it just brings the world together. That's because regardless of who you are or what you do, there's a love for something. And I think it could bring the world, closer together.
Reporting from Daegu, Korea, I'm Army Sergeant Mark Breha.
First Sergeant Figuera decorated his bike with a giant Korean flag to remember his relationship with this country. That was your Around the Peninsula for this week. From all of us at AFN, enjoy your evening.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Far East District delivers engineering solutions in the Republic of Korea, helping to secure our allies and our nation. As U.S. Forces Korea transforms itself to meet future challenges, the Far East District is completing one of the largest programs in Corps history. As focused professionals, we are engineering excellence, constructing a legacy of quality, and delivering on the promise of building strong.
Fever, rash, joint pain, and red eyes are all symptoms caused by the Zika virus disease.
The Zika virus is contracted by those who are exposed to the mosquitoes that contain the Zika virus. These mosquitoes are found mostly in the tropical regions. Brazil is the area that we see it mostly, but we also see it in Central America and northern part of South America. There's also areas in the Pacific that have the Zika virus. So if you're stung by a mosquito that contains the Zika virus, then there's a good chance you may contract the disease.
The disease may not have serious consequences for adults, but it may be fatal for unborn babies. If a pregnant woman is bit by a mosquito carrying the Zika virus, it can be passed on to the fetus and possibly lead to birth defects such as microcephaly, which is where the baby is born with a small head and brain defects. The best way to prevent the infection is by not getting bit by mosquitoes. When outdoors, use insect repellents, wear long sleeves, and soldiers who are in the field should wear specially treated uniforms. Army Sergeant Ryan Sharp, Seoul, Korea.